Three, two, and one. All right, I told you we would be back, and now we are back with Karen Mayo, who is going to talk to us today about roots of leadership. And I call it leading from the heart. And so you have, whatever you have on the outside as a leader, man, it does show when you're put in that position. But Karen is going to navigate us through that, and she has several points that she's going to make, and we're going to have a full discussion on the roots of leadership. It's an awesome book, and you should go out and get it. As soon as you finish hearing this program, you should make your way to Amazon and purchase it, because it's going to be a great help, not just if you are in leadership on your job, just for even personal growth. You will want to read this book. So again, I'm going to introduce Karen Mayo to you. She is no stranger on this platform because she's a part of our Phoenix National Business Group. And so it's great to have her as a partner and as a friend on here. So we really appreciate you coming on, Karen. How are you?
I'm good, Philip. How are you today?
I am doing great. I'm doing great. I'm just excited to be able to have this discussion with you. And pretty soon our friend Oscar is going to be joining us. So I just wanted to let everybody be aware of that. But just introduce yourself to the audience as to what they see. Oh, but sorry, by the way, before we go any further, just wanting to give a shout out to our sponsor, Tom Estes of Allstate, who is sponsoring these programs for these few weeks. Thank you so much, Tom. Really appreciate your sponsorship. And, we look forward to working with you again in our future endeavors. So Karen, please introduce yourself again.
Sure.
Please.
Sure. Yep. Hi, everyone. My name is Karen Mayo. Gosh, I wear so many hats, but firstly and foremost, I'm a child of God. And I'm a CEO. I started from the ground up. So I done it for the past, since 2012. And I am double certified in corporate wellness. I'm the award-winning author of 2 books. So the first one obviously was Roots of Leadership, which we're going to discuss today. And then my first book was actually called Mindful Eating. So so excited to be here today to discuss really an amazing topic for so many reasons, wellness, right? So when you envision wellness or financial wellness, what does it look like for you? People often think about wellness in terms of nutrition, exercise, weight management, but it's really so much more than that. According to the Mental Health Services Administration, wellness is being in good physical and mental health. These two are really linked. And if there's a problem in one area, it actually impacts the other. So they believe if you can still strive for wellness, even if you have an illness or if you are stressed. So wellness is a holistic integration of 8 measurements. And I like to call them measurements because you can start in the beginning wherever you are, right? And so you can start with physical, you can start with mental, financial, intellectual, spiritual, environmental, occupational, and emotional. And you can start exactly today. You don't necessarily have to start, 10 days from now, 2 weeks ago. You can start right now and measure. So the first one I would like to chat with you about is the actual emotional part, right? So understanding and respecting your feelings, your values, and your attitude. Appreciating the feelings of others. Managing your emotions in a constructive way, feeling positive and enthusiastic about your life. People with healthy emotion wellness feel confident. They're in control of their feelings and behaviors, and they can handle life's challenges. So the summary for the emotional is really just respecting your feelings and the feelings of others, and feeling confident in life and creating satisfying relationships. So I would like to start the conversation with about this emotional topic and how it can affect financial wellness.
Oscar, tell us what you think about that.
Yeah, I'm taking notes as she's writing. So here's the thing: you can't be good to other people if you don't like yourself. You don't have enough good feelings about yourself to spread that to someone else. So you're emotionally needy. So you can't give what you don't have. So unless you're emotionally healthy yourself, you're going to see that in other people. So I grew up in the Bronx, so I've learned not to take things personally and realize that people are coming to me with what I call it sunglasses with different color filters on it. So everyone's seeing things from their point of view with their filters. So I might say a word that for me is neutral, but for them it's bringing a lot of baggage with it. So to me, to be nice to others, you have to be nice to yourself. So we need to learn how to be nice to ourselves, how to not let other things bother us. And we can go in hours talking about the ego versus the spiritual part of you. So the ego gets bruised because it's temporary. The spiritual side of you can't get bruised because it's emotion. It's eternal. So, like I said, being from the Bronx, my line has always been, if you knew how little I valued your opinion, you wouldn't even bother telling me. And that is my defense for for people that come to me with their filters and their baggage, and like I don't need it. I have my own stuff to deal with, and I don't need your extra stuff. So to emotionally balance myself, I have a wall between me and other people's opinions, which is just their opinion.
Yeah, I mean, as you were talking about emotional respect, and respecting your own feelings. I find that some people are not even aware of their emotional state. I mean, it's not even on their radar to evaluate their emotional state. So when something happens, when something strenuous happens, they don't know how to deal with it because their emotions are talking to them, right? And it's beyond logic because it's talking about, how something made you feel. It's like, I always say this, when somebody breaks your heart, that in order to handle that in a more rational state, like you just don't jump over the bed and choke them to death.
Just a little choke is not bad. It's not to death. That's
right. I'm just saying, it's like, your initial thought, like, let's say we let's put the scenario out there. You walk into the room, and your spouse or partner is with somebody else, right? Emotionally, your state of mind is like, depending on your personality, you could either, go at it, like, stay right there, I'll be right back.
or the old joke, Murray, I have to, but you.
And so it's like, I mean, we're talking about emotional respect, right? It's like, we have to be aware of that there is such a thing as like emotional language, right? All of us, and that's, I think, is a common thing among any culture, among any race, is that we all feel the same thing. You know, if somebody hurts us, if somebody breaks our heart, we go through the same emotional transitions. Is it me? Is it you? You know, what did I do? What did you do? I mean, we ask all the same questions, no matter what language we speak, right?
True.
Somebody,
Yeah.
yeah, if somebody dies, we still feel the same loss of connection. So the emotions are still the same. We still feel all the same things. And so it's like we must learn how to respect each other's emotional state,
Right.
you know? And if we don't respect our own, how are we going to respect somebody else's?
It's
If we're not
true.
even aware of our own, how are we going to do
Right. So that's absolutely true. So that's why doing activities such as, feeling the emotionals to our senses, right?
that?
So the smell, the taste, doing things like this to kind of, listen to music. So you kind of bring your emotions back in check. So eating your favorite foods, right? Lighting a candle or playing with your pet, or just kind of bringing your emotions down, like watching a favorite movie or watching, the sunset, just to bring those emotions back to balance.
Yeah, that like something neutral, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, something neutral. Yeah, if I find that when I'm upset, I don't know, maybe I don't know what it is scientifically, but my brain goes blank. You know, if I'm
Hmm.
upset, I mean, I feel my body go out of whack.
Right.
And what is that?
So that's really your brain's. Sometimes people can get. So your brain's really complicated, right? So I'm certified in brain health as well. So,
Okay.
but it happens to me. Sometimes you get stuck on a thought, and
Hmm.
you just, you play the same movie, or play the same thought over again. But and you just, at that point, you just got to go, okay, I'm having the same thoughts, but are these thoughts true?
Hmm.
And
Right.
most of the time,
That's true. Yeah.
they're not true. So I mean, that's why that getting that emotional mental health in check, will can provide the, especially when husband and wife or boyfriend girlfriend, whoever, they're fighting about money or finances, right? So taking that time to, just deep breathe and, check yourself into a different, sense, like the taste, the touch, the smell, um, and the sound.
Mm.
Who was it last week that said doubt your doubts? There was
Doubt
some
your doubts. Yeah, right. That stuck out to
that
you
it,
too, right?
yeah, she just hit
Yeah.
on that. I'm like, why are you doubt your doubts? Like I don't think why? How did I
Well,
get
it's
to that?
almost like they're almost like automatic negative thoughts that we have, right, in
Mm.
our brain. So, but most of them are not true. So you can kind of talk yourself out of, or meaning you can have a conversation with yourself because you're already doing it anyway. But
Hmm.
are those thoughts true? And most of the time they're not. And if you were asking yourself and they happen to be true, but what if, because you're talking to yourself, so what if you said to yourself, well, this really isn't true? How would I feel if this thought really wasn't true? Which most of the time it's not true. You're just having those doubts, you're having those negative thoughts. So
What
Yeah. Yeah.
one
I mean,
really
I was going to ask you this question though, Karen. Um, so how do you separate your the thoughts that are coming from like your insecurities? How do you filter that out? Because your insecurities can sometimes paint your perspective,
they
right?
can. Hmm?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it's like because because it's a familiar emotion. Like let's say you suffered from abandonment, right?
Uh-huh.
And so somebody says something or does something, and those undefined emotions of abandonment come right back into
Right.
your space, right? How do you? What are some of the things that people can do in that kind of a space?
Right. So those are more trigger thoughts and trigger points. But
Mm-hmm.
again, just asking yourself those questions, is this really true? And if it is, then you have to, peel back the layers of the onion and try and, what if it wasn't true? What if this was not true? So that abandonment issue. Okay, so that is true, right? So that happened. So at that point, I would hope that that person had gone through some therapy, so they had, those, resources to, fall back on. But they can, those things definitely can be triggering, and that's more of, having to go see your therapist. And those are serious. It's serious. Yeah, very serious.
One thing that this is bringing up a whole bunch, and I've done a lot of reading and a lot of watching things. So what you've brought up is basically what Bob Proctor says and Bruce Lipton says. Bruce Lipton says we're running programs all the time. It's a program. And then in the Bob Proctor, I learned that program was put in our head when we were 7 years old.
Yeah.
So by the time you're 7, your personality, your thoughts about money, life, everything is programmed, and you run the rest of your life, if you don't know that part, on that 7-year-old's view of the world. So don't touch, don't break anything, don't talk to strangers, all of these things you're taught by 7. Money doesn't grow on trees. All of these things are set, and that
but those are right. But those, you can unprogram those thoughts.
Right. If you know about them. A lot of people are unconscious of the fact that they're running their whole life from a 7-year-old's point of view.
Wow.
Right. So, but if that's why when you join my program, I can help you with that.
When you join
see that little lead in there for you?
Thank you.
I love that.
That's great.
It's like when you join my program,
We're going to move on to our next measurement, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so our next measurement is our physical measurement. So, caring for our body and staying healthy. Now and in the future, is important. And also getting sleep. And most likely, the way your body looks and performs and feels when you have all of this adequate sleep, you have healthy nutrition, you have movement activity, you'll feel better about yourself, your performance, and the way your body looks in your clothes. And when you're exercising, your body releases a chemical called endorphins, which are amazing.
That runner's high when you hit that wall and go past it. I don't know. I don't run, but that's what I've heard.
Oh my God, endorphins. Yeah, no, endorphins can be like exercising. It doesn't have to be running, but because I don't run, I'm not a runner, but I like riding the bike and doing yoga. But it reduces stress, it reduces anxiety, it improves your self-esteem, along with your sleep and other benefits. So exercise is really, really important. I know everyone knows that, but still it's good to hear. And it's also good to start today. So you can measure it today by just doing baby steps, by doing something. You can do walking and also, bike riding, jumping rope, just whatever you can do. And you don't necessarily have to be like someone who works out in the morning, someone who works out in the afternoon. I say, do it when you can, when you have time, but do it. So that's really the my summary is recognizing the need for your physical activity, healthy foods, and sleep. And that is my measurement for physical. And how do you measure up? So tell me how you fit in there. And I'd like to just start the discussion around that.
Well,
go ahead, Oscar. I have a question. But go ahead.
A lot of people are like, well, I don't have time to go to the gym. It's like there are body weight exercises that you can do at home. All you need is like a 6 foot by 6 foot area, and you can do that exercise that was developed by the devil called burpees. That is a full body torture.
It is.
And you knock out 10 burpees and you're good. I think you're good for the day after that. So it's not like, okay, I got to go to the gym, I got to go work out on weights, like just normal body weight exercises like we used to do in school. Calisthenics was what we did in school. We didn't have a Gym.
Jumping jacks, jumping rope. You can do push-ups. You can do sit-ups. I mean, those things. Put your feet underneath the couch. So you can kind of hold yourself up. If you have kids are great for partnering up with as a partner.
Planks. You don't have to move at all. Just do a plank.
I had a question about the chicken or the egg. Here comes the chicken again, right?
Okay.
So we as we were talking about emotional state, right? Being aware of that, respecting your own personal emotional state and your physical wellness. Now, what comes first? Or does it, I'm sure it probably works in tandem, but if you're emotionally unhealthy, that affects your physical state.
It does. The two are linked. Absolutely.
And if you are physically healthy, then if you're physically unhealthy, that can also affect your emotional state.
Yes.
Right. So how does that work as far as what would you say, which one comes first per se?
Right.
Are both very important, like you just to work together?
They're both very important, but and they both go hand in hand. So I would say get your eating or get your nutrition in your body, because what can happen is when you have nutritional deficiencies can lead to mental health issues. So but exercise then helps with your mental health. So like I said, it both goes hand in hand. But I would say get your nutrition under control, because
if you're like chemically imbalanced, then your emotions are totally all over the place.
Correct. Exactly.
So
I'm also certified in hormone health. And also that the hormones and that whole endocrine system is, when it's out of balance, that can wreak havoc on both your brain and your body as physically. As we all know, blood sugar issues in this country are out of control.
The other thing is your body. The way you move your body affects your mood and affects your chemical. We're basically a skin-covered petri dish.
Yes.
And what we think about changes the chemicals in our body and changes the outcome. Like if I say, think of a big juicy lemon, cut it in half, cut it in quarters, and bite into it. Like most people's mouths will start to water just thinking about that. So your thought created a physical, right? Or you have an emotion, a physical reaction to that thought. So, if I say stand on the ledge of a cliff and look down, you can feel your stomach tightening up just thinking about it. So your thoughts create a chemical reaction and your body, comes out of that. So one of the things I've learned is move your body the way you want to feel. You cannot sit here like this and say, I feel happy. And your body doesn't feel happy if you're in that position. And you can't stand like this and say, I'm really sad. And your body says, no, you're not. So change your body, your physical posture to tell your body, this is how I'm feeling.
I know, right?
When you're standing like this, your brain says, oh, we just won something. So let's release those endorphins, because I don't know what we won, but we won something. So now you get the endorphins, and now you can kick in what you want to do better than if you're coming from this position saying, I'm going to go work out. Like your body's like, no, you're not. You're going to take a nap, because our chemical we just told our body in our state says, we're ready to take a nap. We're not ready to go work out.
I'm talking about that. That's words in your thinking, right? Starting your day off with thoughts that are positive. Like I start my days off with scriptures like, like this is a day the Lord has made, right? I will rejoice and be glad in it. So that kicks me off that's that's like my first scripture of the day that I bring to my thought. No matter what's going on, it kind of gives me that mindset that, okay, you know what? I'm going to get myself wherever my mind is, I'm going to go in that direction. My body is going to start going in that direction. And I found that if I wake up and my thoughts are depressive and heavy and like, oh, nothing's going to work out today. It's going, like, oh, I don't think today's going to be good. The moment I start thinking those thoughts, I am not motivated to move. And if I'm not motivated to move, then nothing is going to happen positive because I'm not doing anything to move in that positive direction.
Let's, we can go real down deep down that rabbit hole. Where does your mind live?
Ooh.
All right. So when you say, I need to change my mind, where is it that you need to change it? So, and if we can get to that point where we know our mind, we can control our mind rather than,
vice
be
versa,
a slave to the mind. That is huge step. And the story that I told you about the old lady in the bus that, this young kid was really like getting ugly with her. And she just turned around and said, "It's too early for you, Satan. I know that's you."
Oh, I love that.
So when that thought comes in, oh my God, it's going to be a bit. No, it's too early for you, Satan. I know that's you. I'm not going there. I'm heading the other way. And, change that. Change the thought, change your body chemical, get up and go,
exactly.
yes,
That's
or whatever it is you need to do, and shut that off. Like, no,
we were talking about that.
Can't live here.
Those automatic negative thoughts.
From a 7-year-old.
Right. So or even the 7-year-old, right, exactly, the 7-year-old in each of us. But also too, when it comes to finances, because that's what we're here to talk about. If you're not thinking clearly, obviously you may make bad decisions within your business, your money issues, or it could be just something you're spontaneously spending, and you should wait 24 hours or 72 hours or whatever that time is to make that big purchase. So if you're not thinking properly, then obviously it's not going to show. But we were just talking about how those not changing. So I discussed this on Tuesday, which is one of my favorite books. It's called Move My Cheese, right?
Yes.
So it's a great book. So if you don't, so this is my Post-it I have on my desk. If you do not change, you will become extinct. So, it's a matter of baby steps, making those changes, making that measurement where you are today to move forward, to be where you want to be in that goal or that measurement or that foot, it's actually one foot in front of the other to get where you want to be. So my ways of improving physical measurement is what I just, I said bike riding, yoga, jump roping. We all did that. Engaging in sports, running, jogging, skiing, dancing, even just dancing, like what you can even turn the music on while you're cooking or whenever, in the morning. I mean, that is a great, just uplifting spiritual, motivator. Playing tennis. Tennis is really great for your brain, especially table tennis. It gets your prefrontal going, so it builds more brain matter, the gray stuff, which is really important to keep for brain reserve. And then gardening. Gardening is really great too for physical and stress and I don't know how it relates to finance, but maybe you won't be spending as much money at the grocery store because you're gardening, right?
I mean, this is more. We're going on. I'm going on the premise of the title of the book, because leadership, an unhealthy leader, really affects the direction of a company, the direction of the employees, the morale of employees. Because if you're coming in and all you can say is, "Man, I don't think this company is going to make it. You guys, we're not making our goals. Come on, we're not making our goals." And all you can do is feed the negative or the downward spiral that's already, in the room. what I realize is as a leader, I've been under I've good leaders and I've been under bad leadership. And one thing I realized with the good leaders is they can transfer positive thoughts. Like if my manager walks in and he's like smiling, hey, and how you doing? I mean, no matter if I had a bad day coming in and my manager is like sensitive to what's going on and just kind of like, yeah, I know things look bad, but guess what? We can be creative, we can work through this. I mean, it gives you that thought like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to be positive.
Yeah,
I'm going to change. Let me change my thinking. Maybe there's something I'm missing. And you start
and
going through and trying to figure things out rather than the guy that comes in and he's not physically, healthy. He's not emotionally healthy. So he spreads the garbage
Yep.
all around the room.
like they say in
Yeah.
in Sicily, the fish rots from the head down. So
Right.
if you got a bad leader, there's nothing, the people underneath that leader are not going to be the ones bringing that up. If you're looking up and saying, oh man, this is going to be a bad day,
Right.
it's going to trickle down to everybody and make that day and
Even
self-fulfilling
worse.
prophecy. It will be a bad day.
Yeah.
You know
Go
what?
ahead.
I love that you brought that up because, when you're working in corporate, a good leader and a bad leader. I'm so excited that you brought that up because it is so important to know and to follow and to look up to and inspire
Right.
people to become leaders. And when you're a good leader, you know how to do that. And that's why this book right here is so important to someone who has not really a bad leader, but someone that's not leading properly. This book right here will help you along your roots of leadership. It will bring that leadership out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
Believe me, this is one of the most powerful books I think I've been a part of. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it's so much more than you or the person who's leading you. This is bringing out the leader in you to help others become leaders, and that's how deep this book is, and that's why the roots are so deep.
The great visual for that is I saw the two cartoons. One says boss, and he's sitting on top of a wagon with everybody pulling when he's over there whipping.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas leader, he's in front pulling with everyone else behind him. So you can be a boss, but not be a leader. So
and we have a ton of bosses. I mean,
yeah,
there are bosses everywhere.
Yeah.
But I love the title of the book and imagery.
Yeah.
Because when I saw the imagery of it, all I could think of is if the roots, whoever is leading, right, is almost like you can see the fruits of what's inside of them. And what I realize is that even when you read a book, you're like taking from the plate of somebody else's mind, right?
Yeah.
They're feeding you their information. And if somebody is giving you a platform to say, well, these are the inward things you need to deal with to be a good leader, to motivate people, because you're not a leader if nobody's following you.
Right.
Right? That's the first principle of leadership is if you're a leader,
someone following.
I mean, if you're just kind of following what everybody else is doing, then you're really not the leader in the room. Somebody else is, right? But if you're the leader, I mean, because you have the title doesn't make you the leader.
Correct.
If you are the leader in the room, then people are looking at you for not just physical leadership, they're looking at you for emotional leadership,
it's a package.
how to perspective, right? Because not everybody can lead themselves in perspective, right? So when you say you're the leader in the room, people look at you and go, so where are we going? Left, right? What are we doing? Come on, boss. Come on, help me out here.
I think that's the difference between a boss and a leader. A boss is designated. A leader is given the distinction by the people that are following them. So you can be the boss and I'm not going to follow you. But if you're going to be the leader, then I'll follow you.
Right. Wow.
Absolutely. And I just want to give a quick shout out to, Anthony is my co-author here. He has another book which is it's called Creating Reality. And that book, let me tell you something, it changed a lot for me. And it changed a lot for me for when I was ready for my next stepping stone, right? So, but if you get a chance and you can find it or order it on Amazon, it's called Creating Reality.
My library's getting bigger. That's it.
Yeah, it's a good one. But also get on the Roots of Leadership podcast. That's really good. Okay, so our third measurement.
Where do you find that?
Roots of Leadership podcast. I think
Yeah.
you can find it on iTunes or
iTunes. Okay.
Did you try and Google it?
No,
I just found out
I'll
about
try
it.
to find it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can find it. It's really great. He's got a ton of. He's the one running it. Anthony Gruppo. Anthony is the CEO of Marsh & McLennan Agencies.
Oh, nice.
And their employee benefits.
Oh, wow, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, he's a great leader. He really is. He's a wonderful leader. So going on, so our third one is intellectual measurement. So intellectual wellness, right? So recognizing our own creative abilities and finding ways to expand our knowledge and skills. Growing intellectually, maintaining your curiosity about all there is to learn, valuing lifelong learning, and responding positively to intellectual challenges, which I think I love. I'm a lifelong learner. I mean, I'm a sponge. Anytime I can learn something or take a class, I guess, I don't know. And it's also really good for brain health. So teaching that as we go along too. But, and I guess the summary for that is really just being creative and stimulating your mental health and mental activities. So, you know, conversation around that, I mean, we'd probably be here all day, but just, you know, the mental health is so important. And, you know, with Alzheimer's and everything else, you know, becoming such a, you know, there's still no cure. And it's, you know, starting earlier and earlier, people are getting it. And if you have a history of it in your family, you have a 50% chance of getting it. So that's why intellectual wellness is so important. And, you know, again, learning something new.
And you're talking about, and you're a brain person, talking about brain plasticity. Your brain is not set in stone. The more you learn, the more connections are made, the healthier and younger your brain gets.
Yes.
So, you know, and yeah, even mine, believe it or not, it's actually working. And
I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. I'm getting there. All right, I'm getting this.
Nice.
And I always have when I have downtime, when I'm outside with the chickens or in the garden or something, I always have a book in my ear. So I have Audible books, and there is no downtime that my brain isn't learning something new and just flatlining. I had a relative who worked from 4 a.m. till 7 p.m. and finally retired. Like, that's it. I'm going to retire now. Years he passed away because his brain literally died. He had nothing. I'm saying he had nothing to live for because he had a purpose, and he was constantly working and learning, and it was a trade that, you know, wasn't static. So he was always. And now you sit on the lazy boy. You realize it's called a lazy boy chair, not a productive man chair. It's a lazy boy, and you watch TV and you just watch your brain flatline, and your body says, "Okay, we're ready to die now," and because your brain is shut off. So that brain health and always keeping, and even shower time. I have a waterproof speaker that I hang up on the shower curtain, and I'll listen to 20 minutes of a book. I don't let my brain have a downtime.
That's good. That's really good. And, you know, the top CEOs and professionals all around the world, they read books. They read
about 60 books a year.
Yep.
Is the average of a top CEO.
Yep. Top CEO.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, I'm getting there. I'm getting there, Phil.
Incredible. That's incredible. Yeah, because you know what? I like to do the Audible. I have like a lot of Audible books. and my subject line is widespread. I mean, I listen to every single kind of genre you could think about, and but especially around history. I mean, I
Good.
love those historical books, and yeah, I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're midway through our program, but I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Tom Estes of Allstate. He's one of our sponsors for these programs that we've been running. And you could reach him at 973-376-8914. Give him a call if you would like to get an estimate on your car insurance, home insurance. And I've been with Tom for years, so please support and give him a call today. All right, so what's the next one? What's the next one that we have, Karen?
Okay, so but just let me give you some tips. So
Mhm.
so learning a new language is really good for your brain health, and it gives you, learning new ideas, build a library of resources like classes that you can learn from. A language is really good. Learning the piano.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So learning dance, dance steps, ballroom dancing, the hand-eye coordination is
Mhm.
really, really great. Okay. So our next one is social wellness. So maintaining healthy relationships, enjoy being with other people, developing friendships, your intimate relationships, your family, your loved ones, um, and contribute to the well-being of others and let others care about you, right? So that's a social wellness measurement, and then also contributing to your community. And I think the summary behind that is just developing a meaningful sense of connection, belonging, and having a well-developed support system. Um, so the conversation for that, I think starts somewhere, where we've all been inside for the past, 4 months now, and getting back out, it's kind of a little difficult. Not that it's difficult to socialize, but we have to stay that 6 feet apart, and the masks on, so it's kind of a little hard to communicate with people. But I think everyone's doing the best they can.
Mhm.
But just developing new friendships, and calling someone on the telephone or writing someone a letter. I mean, that's probably a really great idea as well, as nurturing that relationship.
You know what I think is also important too, because of how, um, as humans, we are healthier when it comes to having somebody that we connect with, right? Not just like just a physical connection, but somebody you can have a conversation with. Sometimes we need to take that break and ease of mind, and just kind of come to a place where we can clear our thoughts. Some people clear their thoughts in having conversation, but what I find is that even just having somebody to kind of like touch, like you can, because you know what they say about babies that don't get touched within a few weeks, they die, right? And so touch is a part of our communication mechanism.
We're
you know
pack
some
animals.
yeah, so we sometimes we just need that little affirmation that, yeah, everything's going to be okay. Then
Yeah.
you sanitize your hands.
Yeah.
Jump in the shower. Okay, they touch me.
And a lot of people are feeling the distance thing by not being able to hug people that they know they love, and there
Right.
are huggers in this world that's like, I'm missing that connection.
Yeah.
This Facebook thing is cool, and Zoom is nice, but there is not that physical contact, and that's playing big. You're seeing suicide rates going up,
Yeah.
and
Oh, really? I didn't know
the
that.
isolation is getting to people that that
Yeah.
were borderline anyway, and that's pushing people over the edge.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. So I think we need to kind of, as we kind of like try to figure this, platform out. I think there's got to be some ways to reestablish connection with people. I think I mean, solution to that, I think, would be very selective. Like, you really got to kind of like filter through in your mind, if I'm going to, invite somebody over, you know, how important is it that, what are some of the procedures to kind of follow for that? Because we do need that interconnection, and it's important. It's important to our mental health. And I think that's why people are just kind of like going crazy. And, I think it's crazy that we're going out there and just jumping into crowds of people without masks on,
Right.
and I mean, yeah, I
It's
know we
true.
were desperate for connection, but really,
Yeah, no, it's true. It's really true.
yeah,
Um,
so go ahead.
Even just, sending, like I said, sending a letter, or even texting our loved ones is, or people, even as a leader, someone that a lot of top leaders, they do a lot of handwritten notes. So,
Mhm.
and when you get a handwritten note, or when you get something in the mail, it's almost like you're getting a gift, right? So
Right.
no one does that anymore. So sending out handwritten notes is so important. It actually, makes you stand out, from other people.
Yeah, that is such an excellent point. But because of time, now we're gonna have to kind of transition, because we're gonna have Frank Coppola coming on at 1:30, and he is going to be talking to us about procrastination. Very
Okay.
important subject for a lot of us, on overcoming procrastination. And if you do not want to overcome procrastination, you can join Oscar's club. The
We'll be
haven't
meeting
met
soon.
yet,
Not yet, though.
coming soon, you know. But yeah, we're going to be talking about that next. And so, if you would like to order Karen's book, you can go to karenmayo.net, or you can go on Amazon and you can find it there too.
Yeah.
But if
And
you would
that's
like to
plural.
know
It's
more,
books.
yeah, books, exactly. If you would like to know more about what Karen does, you could go to her website. And I believe there's a way that they could reach out to you through your website as well, right, Karen?
Yeah. You can reach me, Karen at karenmayo.net.
Yeah. Oh, right. Exactly. I mean, that's we also have that on the banner. So yeah, you Karen at karenmayo.net, or you see her email on the banner. So reach out to her. She's a great coach as well. So if you need someone that can help you and walk you through, even changing your diet, eating right. Oh my goodness, that is a phenomenal thing. And so you can reach out to her for that as well. So guys, make use of the resource that you have. You see their books on there, Mindful Eating and the Roots of Leadership. You want to get those books today. If you want more information, because we didn't even get a chance to go through everything, right, Karen?
No, we have three more: spiritual, occupational, and then our financial.
Yeah,
That's going to be the
exactly.
next
So
segment.
yeah,
Tune
if
in.
we really want to, learn more about that, I'm glad we did, because they need to get the book. I need you all to get the book.
It could be like a reading club. The next time we're on, everyone open your book to page
We can't give
17,
you
and we're going
everything
to.
like that. We're going to give you. You need to get the book so you can learn more about the roots of leadership. And again, we love bringing you these programs, and but support those you see on the program. Visit Oscar's page as well, and send him an email, and also just
And join
patronize those you
Phil's
see on the
book club.
programs. Join Phil's, exactly. There you go. Visit our website, philipreed.org, and we can keep these programs going. All right. Glad to see everybody that's watching. We'll see you at 1:30 with Frank Coppola, and he's going to be talking to us about procrastination and how we can overcome procrastination. Everyone, take care, and we'll see you soon.